It was mid-October. That perfect fall vibe, the air is crisp, everyone's obsessed with pumpkin spice, and Halloween is just close enough to feel heavy. My cousin Leia was turning 13. A big milestone, right? So my aunt and uncle to this massive family bashed at their place in rural Pennsylvania. Now their house was legendary. It was this huge, old, sprawling place with way too many hallways and a finished basement that felt like a labyrinth. For us kids, that basement was the ultimate playground for hide and seek. The rules were simple. It was a team game. You had a time limit to hide, and if the seekers spotted you, you had to bolt for the backyard to be safe. The whole house was fair game except the master bedroom. That was off limits. The house had a million hiding spots, but the basement had a very specific room that gave everyone the creeps. My aunt's fashion studio. She's a designer, so this room was packed with mannequins, full bodies, headless torsos and metal pools, half-finished dresses pinned to plastic skin. You name it. During the day, totally fine. But at night, with the lights dimmed and those lifeless plastic eye everywhere, it was terrifying. Which of course made it the perfect place to hide. It was our turn to hide. My older brother Mike and I decided to claim the basement. Mike peeled off to hide behind the pool table in the main lounge, but I went straight for the studio. I had this genius idea. I grabbed 2 thick blankets from the linen closet. I draped one over a mannequin in a far corner to make it look like a person was standing there, a decoy to freak out whoever was looking for me. Then I crawled under this heavy old doll desk in the corner and pulled the second blanket over myself, and then I waited. You know how it is, hide and seek is 90% just sitting in the dark, trying to breathe as quietly as possible, listening to the house groan and your own heart thumping in your ears. Anyway, after what felt like forever, I heard it. Heavy footsteps, laughing, Mike's voice, then my older cousin shouting, a chase was on. I heard them thundering up the basement stairs, the door slammed shut, and then total silence. A deeper kind of silence, the kind that makes your ears ring. I was definitely the last one left down here. I sat there for another 10 minutes, my legs getting stiff, just staring at the gap between the floor and the desk. Finally, the basement door creaked open. Footsteps again, but slower this time. It was Mike. He poked his head into the studio, scanned the room, and didn't even notice me. Yo, Leo, you in here? Give it up, man. The pizza's here. Pizza? That's all the motivation a 13-year-old needs. So I scrambled out from under the desk, my legs feeling like they were full of needles, and sprinted upstairs. I didn't even think twice about it. I left the blankets exactly where they were, one on the floor, and the other one still draped over that mannequin in the dark. The party was in full swing upstairs. Music, laughter, the smell of barbecue. It was a vibe. But then, while I was grabbing a soda near the dessert table, it hit me like a freight train. The blankets. See, my Aunt Claire is, let's just say, particular about her studio. If she found her expensive fabric or mannequins covered in old basement blankets, she'd lose it. So I knew I had to go back down and clean up my mess before she noticed. I slipped away from the crowd, headed inside, and opened the basement door. The transition was jarring. Upstairs was chaos. Down here, it was dead silent. Just the low mechanical hum of the furnace. I walked to the studio, turned the knob, and flicked the light switch. The first thing I noticed, my decoy was gone. The blanket wasn't the mannequin in the corner anymore. My heart did a little skip, thinking maybe Mike had come back down here and messed with me. But then, I saw it. The blanket was now in the middle of the room. It wasn't flat on the floor. It was draped over something. Something slumped against the leg of a heavy work table. It looked like a person sitting there, hunched over. Now, here's the thing. Auntie Clary didn't have any seated mannequins. Every single one of them was standing upright. Alright, very funny, I said. My voice sounded thin, echoing off the walls. Who is it? Mike? Jake? You're not scaring me, man. No answer. No movement. I took a step closer, and that's when the air in the room changed. I saw it. Slow, rhythmic rise and fall of the fabric, like breathing, deep, heavy breathing. And then the smell hit me. It wasn't the smell of the basement or old clothes. It was sharp, sour, like old sweet, unwashed hair, and something metallic, something wrong. My brain was trying to process this as a prank, but my gut was screaming at me to run. There was a living, breathing human being under that blanket right in front of me. Seriously, dude, I stammered. My heart hammered against my ribs like a trapped bird. You're freaking me out. Who is that? Silence. Then I looked down at the base of the blanket. 2 bare feet were sticking out. The skin was dark, a deep, rich brown. My brain went into overdrive, running through the guest list of the party. Every single person upstairs, every cousin, every aunt, every friend was white. We didn't have a single black guest at the house that night. That was the kick, the final, terrifying piece of the puzzle. This wasn't family. This wasn't a friend. This was a total strange who had wandered in from the street and decided to hide in the dark with us. I didn't scream. I couldn't. I just backed away, slowly, never taking my eyes off that breathing heap of fabric. I backed out of the room, hit the rec area, and then sprinted up those stairs like my life depended on it. I burst into the backyard, looking like I'd seen a ghost. I grabbed my Uncle Rob by the arm. My voice was shaking so hard, I could barely get the words out. You need to call 911 now. There's someone in the basement. He saw the look in my eyes and didn't ask a single question. He just grabbed a few of my older uncles and we headed down. When we pushed the studio door open, the room was empty. The blanket was just a pile of fabric on the floor. No man, no feet, just that lingering, sour smell hanging in the air. After 10 minutes, the police has arrived. They searched every inch of the house. Closets, crawl spaces, the attic, nothing. They figured that with a party that big and doors being left unlocked all night, someone must have just walked in. Maybe a homeless person looking for a place to crash, or maybe someone looking for something else. They never found him. After the years, people always ask me what the scariest part was. They think it was seeing those feet, but it's not. The scariest part is the math. I was hiding in that room in total darkness. For over 20 minutes, I was being silent so I wouldn't be found. In the entire time, I wasn't alone. He was already there, in the corner, listening to my breathe, waiting for me to leave so he could take my spot. So, the next time, when you're in a crowded house and you find a quiet dark corner to yourself, just remember, you might not be as alone as you think.